Hello Marvel Legends! What is going on with this backdrop? Well, I just wanted to put a little preamble at the start of this video because look, I've got the Venom pool wave and I should be super happy about it, and I kind of am. This bath is amazing, but I was kind of blue doing this video, and it's like, why am I blue? I should be so happy. I've got Piglet. I've got piggyback for lockdown. I should be 5x5 and super cool. And as I was doing the unboxing, I was like, why am I not happier? I've got everything I should have here. And I think after doing it, I realized well, maybe I'm kind of blue because when you have the things that you care about so much, you sort of think, your mind starts to go oh, but I'm gonna have to hand you back at some point. And then I'm kind of ooh. I'm kind of reminded of a time where I was always with her, and it was me and her and her other daddy together, and it's your mind kind of plays kind of funny. And I think it was actually reflecting on the review or the unboxing I was doing. I was like, why am I blue? This kind of sucks. And I wasn't gonna put the unboxing out because I was like, you're only as good as your last video. I don't want my last video to be a sort of a melancholy one, but then I thought, you know what? I don't edit anything on this show, more through laziness than honesty. But I thought, you know what? What the heck? I'm gonna throw this up anyway with a little preamble to go, hey, you know what? I'm a little out of sorts, but now I'm okay because I know why I was blue, because I missed you, and I missed the kind of life that I used to have, because you always do that, especially in a melancholy time like this where 2020 is nuts, and you sort of look back to, I don't know, sort of fonder times, maybe slightly rose tinted, I don't know. Either way, we're getting quite amongst the weeds with this intro, so let's just turn this over now to the slightly melancholy Venom Wave 2 unboxing. Take it away, Dave. Chill. Yeah. Hello, Marvel Legends. Look who's back. Piglet's back! Oh, don't worry, Piglet, that's just me trashing my set. And all is right with the world once again. Are you ready to review Venom Wave 2? I think so. Shall we do it? Let's do it. I say review, it's not really a review, it's an unboxing. That's what this is. That's my bread and butter, is unboxing. Because I've got Venom Wave 2 and, it's not just Venom Wave 2, I've got the worthwhile figures from the Joe Fixit wave. You know what I'm talking about. Don't try and get on your, oh, but Gamerverse is okay. No, it's not. Oh, look at these boxes. Okay, this first one randomly taken out, Miles Morales. Okay, this is a figure that I was not that fussed about getting, but I have him now, and I haven't had a look at him properly yet, but the first thing that caught my eye, look at the awesome logo symbol on top, the Venomized Spider-Man. I didn't know that these were on the boxes. I haven't seen any other reviews. That's super cool. And yeah, you know what? Already, I like this more than I was expecting to, because I was originally I wasn't going to get these figures at all when I just saw them first get posted. I was like, Venomized Miles and Gwen? I don't need that in my life. And then they released the Venomized Cap, and I was like, well, I want that, so I guess I'm getting everything. Right, okay, let's take a look at what else have we got here. This is a big one. This is one that I've been wanting for ages, and we still have 2 more to go. Yes, finally, Phage. We got Phage to get the 3rd of 5 Life Foundation symbiotes. And just from initial glances, I gotta say he's, I don't want to say underwhelming, because I kind of knew, I was expecting him to be just averagely whelmed, because it's Bucky Cap, which is a fair mold, but it's fair. It's, we've seen this a bajillion times. The paint is, I was hoping it would be more of a mustardy than a yellow, which it is, because Scream's yellow, and this guy should be more of a browny mustard kind of color, so that works. And yeah, so he's looking all right at a glance there. He's got the full-on Venom logo on the top. Now, who else do we have? We've got, the other one that I wasn't too fussed about getting. Gwenom. So Gwenom here, I think she's going to be more of a fun figure than Miles, possibly, with her big, resplendent, slobbering tongue, which looks kind of fun. And of course, she comes with the big torso bath piece as well. So this is going to be fun to crack open. I love the Spider-Man Maximum Venom logo on there. It's just nice font. It's nice artwork. I dig that kind of graphic design. Next up, we got this is what I really wanted. Morbius. This figure's been getting a lot of hate online. A lot of people are like kind of hating on this figure, and it's all subjective, you know. But personally, I really wanted this figure, and up close, I'm down with this. He's got the sort of the Johnny Depp and the Crow kind of bodysuit. The face is full on like 90s Morbius. I'm pretty happy with this. From a glance, he could probably have more of a wash on his face, because it is very like chalk, just white powder, like that guy from that movie where his face was like powder. I forget the name of it. And also we have this is the big one, or a big one. Carnage. Both a good and bad thing, because first of all, we didn't need another Carnage. The one that came out in the previous wave was perfectly adequate, if not, I dare say, very good. What's great about this, though, is they really have gone above and beyond. Everyone's mentioned it already, the individual sculpting on the actual black details on the body, really nice. And people have been talking about army building this from the Absolute Carnage story, but the problem is in that story, the Carnage sort of like clones that he makes all have four or six arms. Either way, you needed like a doppelganger type body. So I don't think I'll army build this. My wallet goes, yay! But it's a cool looking figure. But now we need a Build-A-Figure of the gigantic Absolute Carnage figure. There's lights reflecting on those. I don't want that. Looks very unprofessional. All right, we're almost through. I need to stop bagging these. I don't give myself much room to work in. So, this is one that everyone was quite excited about. The movie Venom, the Tom Hardy Venom, which, you know, it was a movie I was kind of indifferent to. It had some fun bits, but it was pretty much just a CGI blah fest. But it wasn't terrible, and nowadays, like, I'll take not terrible, unless it's like an actual Marvel 616 like movie, in which case I expect good. And anything outside of that, I'm like, did I hate it? No, then it was successful. And in that case, the Venom movie was successful. And one thing I find, I mean, it's accurate to the film, but I find his eyes are just very close together. I wish they were sort of spaced out more, but in fairness, that is how it looks in the movie. Now, we have a bit of the Joe Fixit wave as well, so I won't go into those because that's a separate video, but we got Thunderstrike, and we got, come over here, fella. We got Falcon. So that's for an entirely different video. But let's crack these guys open and see what we're dealing with here. Alright, so first off we're going to do the movie Venom, because this is the only figure without a bath piece, so I'm going to build the bath as we go, so why not get this guy out of the way? And I say out of the way, not like it's a bad thing. This figure looks, from what I've seen, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And here he is in his little plastic case, in his carbonite, frozen there, and like I was saying, the eyes feel very close together. I didn't need this figure because it doesn't even have a bath piece, but I was like, I'll just get the whole wave, and he does look good. He's a chunky boy. He's hefty. Let's get that plastic crack. Ooh, did that make you jump? What do you think? Yeah, funny smell. And here is Venom out of the packaging, and he's a big guy. Look at the size of this guy, and it's just difficult to get excited about this. You know, he's fine, and I do like him. I'll keep him displayed, but I don't have any MCU figures, so it feels a bit funny kind of having a figure that's not 616. So I'm like, what do I do with you? I feel like maybe I should just get a random MCU Spider-Man, so I have a Venom and Spider-Man, but you know, eventually, one day when we get new movies again, we'll get a new Spider-Man movie, and then maybe even a Spider-Man and Venom movie, and they're bridging the gap between them. But okay, so this figure is fine. He's more than fine. I'm sorry. I'm feeling a bit of apathy, and I shouldn't, because this is actually pretty cool. I'm doing him a disservice. The tongue is big and lashy, and what's really nice is that the body here is textured. That it's not smooth. It actually has some kind of like feeling to it. Which is great. It feels like a rough kind of symbiote covering him. Yeah, there's nothing smooth. Let me just sort of show you some Venom crotch there. Can you see the texture on there? That's a really nice touch, and I think it's something that I wasn't really expecting. I was expecting it to be just a smooth figure. And what's kind of lovely is, let me move your arm down there, the paintwork and the detailing, which you can't really see because of my terrible setup, but it goes right into the inside of the jaw at the side there, and the cheeks and the gums. Some really nice paintwork going on there. So it's better than I'm giving it credit for. It's a shame. I wasn't a huge fan of the Venom movie. If I loved the Venom movie, I'd probably be more excited for the figure. But like I said, I was indifferent to it. It wasn't terrible, but it just felt like, you know, until everything is under one umbrella, it feels like we're just being cheated. You know, Venom, Eddie Brock should not have been the first Venom symbiote holder. It should have gone like Spider-Man and told the classic story. I know that they couldn't do that. I know that they couldn't do that on the silver screen, which is just a tragedy. But, you know, it is what it is. But still, it doesn't make me not lament for what we did have. I still feel like the best Venom representation we've ever had is the '94 cartoon. But still, he's looking pretty good there. Let's try cracking on the other head and see what we've got. We also have the fisted hands as well, but I'm not going to have fisted hands. I like my grabby hands. But as for the other head, I normally always go for the more sort of dynamic looking head, which of course in this case would be the tongue. But I kind of like this grinning look, so I don't know. I might play around. Let's pop him on here. Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. It's tough. Again, I don't love it. I don't love the expression. I don't love the way that the eyes look. I found like in the movie, he and Riot, they both looked very, very similar. There wasn't much sort of difference between them, I feel. And that's why at the end, during the big fight, it just felt like a big kind of CGI mess. And I was like, I'm kind of switching off now. But maybe that's my review for this figure. It's like initially exciting, but I kind of switched off quite quickly. Which is a shame, because Venom could and should be so much more. And potentially he will be, because give us a comic book Venom on this buck, and then we'll be talking. But while I open the other figures, I'm going to put Venom up here on the ludicrously expensive Spinatron 5000, and we can just, you know, let him have his moment in the spotlight. Because he's not bad, and actually, as I see him rotating, something about rotation that makes things look cooler. Because that looks better as I'm viewing him now. So this one might be a grower. He might grow on me. I think that maybe I will go for the lashing tongue look, because again, it's just more interesting. Right, let's crack open the Venom pool figures. Oh, that got your attention. Right, I want to build him from the ground up, so that means I am going to need a pair of legs. So the first leg, both legs. Both legs are going to come courtesy of Phage here. For some reason, Phage, even though I know the character, just doesn't stick in my mind. I'm like, what is it? What is your name? It's Phage. And according to Phage's bio here, the Phage symbiote gives its host the ability to forge incredibly dangerous bladed weapons to attack its victims. Oh, like every other symbiote. When they made the characters in the 90s, they tried to give them some like distinct looks. You know, Lasher had the lashy bits coming off and stuff, but on the whole, it was like they didn't really have anything that separated them besides just the color scheme, really. Which was fine, to be honest. It would have been silly if they gave like all the symbiotes different powers and stuff. It'd be like, really? It feels like a hat on the hat. All right. Again, like I was saying, it's just the Bucky Cap mold. So, oh, I'm sorry, sausage. She doesn't like the plastic crack. She doesn't know the joy that comes with it. No, it's okay. She's a little bit discombobulated. She's like, this is kind of my home, but not really. Like, what are we doing here? So, The one sort of accessory or selling point is this cool little bladey bit that we've all seen the symbiote posed with. So let's immediately stick that on, because why wouldn't you? And we can start to give this character a bit more life, a bit more va-va-voom, if you will. So here is our repainted for the 18 billionth time Bucky Cap mold, and yeah, I've been really anticipating this wave, but it's difficult to get inspired. It's difficult to get sort of really excited about it. It does feel like they, for this figure, and again, I've been wanting this figure. I'm a huge symbiote fan. I'm a huge 90s fan, in case you hadn't noticed. But it's just difficult to get excited about it because I feel like this isn't really bringing anything new to the table. It's just another in a long line of repainted Bucky Caps. So, you know, it's fine. He's got his little back piece on there, but it's kind of like they just, you know, dipped a Bucky Cap mold in glue and just rolled him through a fodder box, and then you have Phage. So, gosh, I'm sounding. People always say like, "Oh, I love watching your videos because you're so enthusiastic and your enthusiasm is so infectious." And here I am, just like being bummed out about a wave I was actually really looking forward to. And again, this isn't like bad. It's just like I think because I've been anticipating this for so long, it's just like, yeah, this is what I expected. So, yep, he's got his blade hand there. I'm trying to figure out like the best way of connecting it. Is it supposed to line up with the other ridges here, maybe? It's a bit hard for me, maybe because I'm just a Dumbo, to figure out the best way of having it sort of tilted and angled. But one way or another, again, this is a figure that's, you know, gonna look fine. Nah, that doesn't look right. I'm gonna have to play around with this. Does it show on the back of the box like what? Yeah, it is his left arm. Yeah, so that is the way it should be. And the yellow bit goes on the underneath. So yeah, it's the way that it should be. It's just like not sort of that sort of tailor-made. Okay, that's a bit better now. This is kind of a low energy unboxing, but maybe you can just have this on in the background while you're doing other stuff, doing important stuff. But, you know, focus on your important stuff, because this is kind of, you know, it's here, and it's content, it's something. Wow, I hope this isn't the first video that anyone watches. They'll be like, wow, dude, you got like 1,300 subscribers? How? Honestly, I'm normally more pumped than this. But here you go, already, now that I've got it sort of positioned a bit better, that's a little more fun. Okay, so I'm going to put him obviously next to Lasher and Scream, and I think things are going to start to come together. They're going to shape up a little bit more, get a little more exciting. Oh, I'm trying to balance him on the Spinatron. Oh, I want to get this right. I want to get a nice little setup going here, but again, the ankle joints feel kind of gummy, so I might have to be careful with this one, because it just, yeah, this all feels like just a little bit slapdash. Like, you know, they could have done more with these figures. The joints feel very rubbery, like you get sometimes, where it's like they just don't feel nice and stiff and clicky. They're more just like Gumby, you know. I say, you know, like I'm asking for a response. I know you can't respond to me directly here and now, but yeah, like you see, Phage isn't standing up very well at all. This is gonna be one of those ones that's tricky, because now he's overbalanced. All right, is that gonna do it? Because I want to have him kind of crouched forward, so at least his pose is more dynamic. But even then, that's gonna be a little tricky. I think I might pull up. The question is, how long is he gonna last? Let's find out. It's gonna be quite a tense video now. I'm just waiting for him to drop. Don't worry, Piglet, I'll protect you. Okay. But what we do have are a pair of legs. So we have the start of Venom Pool here. And this is kind of the main event that we're building up towards, because everyone is a little bit gaga for this figure. And judging by the promotional pictures, I can see why, because it does look pretty awesome. So we've got the two legs. Now I guess we need a body. So the body is in... Aha! Ah, I see. I knew it was going to go. Oh, I'm sorry, Poppet. I'm going to pause this so that I can get him set up properly. Alright, I think we found that happy equilibrium, so force push him on here and he should be alright. Now then, where was I? The body. The body for Venom Pool here in the Gwenom, which for the name alone actually, I kind of like. Gwenom is a fun play on words. So we're just going to slice in here, cutting away from myself and away from Piglet. Yeah. Because your daddy would be furious if I stabbed you with a knife while making these videos. He wouldn't let me have you again. Alright, so, Gwenom. Oh, the blurb on the box. When the Venom symbiote attaches to Gwen Stacy, she gains extreme new powers as Ghost Spider. Okay, well, first of all, she's already called Ghost Spider. And secondly, that's just exactly the same as every other symbiote. Who do they get? Who? That's what I want to ask Hasbro. If anyone asks Hasbro again, like, who writes these? Who comes up with these? Ooh, we got the big old swords as well. Just drop those all over the place. Here we go. Got a little sword action for you there. And let's crack Gwen out of the packaging. And here she is. Gwenom, straight out of the box, and already I'm liking this. I'm liking this figure more than I was expecting to. The figure I was most looking forward to, Phage, hasn't really done anything for me. And the figure that I was really ambivalent about, this is nice. This is good. I didn't even realize she wears a jacket that's actually a separate piece. The jacket is soft plastic. You're not really seeing it, you're just seeing my fingers all over it, but yeah, you can actually pull the jacket apart. That's a really nice touch, and I love the hoodie with the teeth that go down over her face. What a great way of incorporating the Venom design into something wholly unique. This might be the sleeper hit here. I'm very impressed. The tongue with the little teeth coming out of it is great. She's got the hooks on the feet, which I wasn't expecting. There is a lot more to this figure than I ever anticipated. I'm impressed. Well done, Hasbro. This was not what I was expecting at all. Let's get her posed. All right, we've got Gwen posed here, and I really, really like this. A figure that I think a lot of people would be sleeping on and not really bothering with. Surprisingly good. I'm a real fan of her. She looks great. There's so much more to this figure and this mold than I was expecting. The eyes inside the hood look really great. That's number one so far. That really, really is. We got Gwenom number one, I'd say, then Venom number two, and Phage number three. I'm really surprised with that figure. That's very cool. Okay, let's put the huge big torso on the legs, and we got Venom Pool underway. Okay, there was actually a really big edit there because the swords do not just, there's no like hole that they just plug into. They're kind of molded around the cross in the strap that's on his chest, and they do not fit like really solidly. It's very difficult to like jimmy them in and get them to stay in place. So that's something to be aware of, and I can imagine they're gonna probably fall off his back quite a lot. Which is surprising that they didn't just go for a pin and pole kind of approach, but I guess there was some logic somewhere from someone who was like, no, they need to very delicately clip onto the strap. That's clearly the best way of doing it. And I don't know why someone would have thought that, but there you go. But still, we have our headless, armless torso, and so far, he's looking pretty cool. So now we need an arm. We need a couple of arms. So let's crack open Venomize Miles Morales. I was looking to see if he had like a clever name, but no, it's just Miles Morales actually. And it says, when the Venom symbiote attaches to Miles Morales, can you guess what comes next? He gains extreme new powers. Well, who would have thought? Thanks, Hasbro. I didn't know that. Is Miles Morales also a character in Marvel Comics? You know, if you just want to state the blatantly obvious. I don't know, maybe it's a little surly. I don't know. What do you think, Piglet? Hey? What do you think? Yeah? Okay, let's get Miles out of here. Alright, you know what? This is fine. This isn't the big surprise that I thought Gwen was going to be. Well, no, I didn't think Gwen was going to be a surprise. That's why she was a surprise. that's what a surprise is. Okay, there's an extra fisted hand for Venom. Venom pool. Okay, Miles is kind of uninspiring. All right. First of all, there's no accessories. There's no extra hands. No extra hands. No extra head. No nothing. This is a cheap, quick figure job. It really is. The face sculpt is kind of fun, but there's not really much to it. The hands are sort of gnarly symbiote hands. He's got his clawed symbiote feet, but there's just not really much else kind of going on. It's fine. It's a fine figure, but yeah, he's got some sculpted veins in his arms, so that's something a bit more to it. But it's a little bit uninspiring. This is the least anticipated figure, and he's lived down to his low expectations. Not a bad figure. I don't hate him or anything, but I don't think he's ever gonna wow me when I look at him on the shelf. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, that's a badass figure right there. But at the same time, if you get him in a dynamic sort of pose, like I'm trying to do here, then at least he can look like he has a little bit more sort of going on there, like he's like coming to get you. So that can be a little bit more fun. But this is a figure that I was expecting not very much from, and he's delivered. Kind of like Matt McMuscles. He offers you nothing and delivers less, but what he does offer is the left arm for Venom Pool, and already this guy's looking pretty cool, actually. I was a bit worried when I saw the legs, and I was like, oh, it's not very big, but that's because he's got huge, big gorilla arms. Okay, this is starting to take shape. What I'm lacking with Miles, I'm making up for here with Deadpool, Venom Pool. Again, that's another name, like Phage. It's just not sticking in my head. All right, we need the other arm, so that means Morbius. Let's read the little bio for Morbius. When a symbiote attaches to Morbius, he gains extreme... no, sorry, wrong one. Michael Morbius, the living vampire, prowls the night, tortured by his life-sustaining thirst. Yes, we all know what he needs. Plasma. For those of us who watched the '94 Spider-Man TV show, yeah. Wasn't blood. No. Vampires aren't allowed to drink blood. He needs plasma. And he has to suck it through his hands. That was actually weirder that was creepier than vampires biting. In the cartoon, he had like little sucker things on his palm, like they're like he's trying to suck people's plasma out. It was gross and far scarier than just a normal vampire would have been. Alright, he's a little heavier than I was expecting. Oh, and he's got the lovely cape as well. Already, I defy the people who are hating on this figure. Don't worry, I'm going to do the crack bit. I know you don't like that. She doesn't like the plastic crack. But it's better than fireworks, alright? Who still sets off fireworks in their back garden in this day and age? Come on, seriously. Do you not have better forms of entertainment? Like how basic are you, huh? That's a basic bitch thing to do, setting off fireworks, scaring everyone's dogs. Poor little piglet, she had no idea what's going on when the fireworks go off. Anyway, we got Michael Morbius, and I'm already way happier with this 90s version of Morbius than I am with the classic one. I wasn't unhappy with the classic. He was looking like the classic Morbius, but I wanted Morbius for one reason, and that was to build the Maximum Carnage teams. So I got him for that purpose originally, and I was always like, nah, he doesn't really look like that in Maximum Carnage, but it'll do. But now I have full-on Maximum Carnage 90s Morbius, and this is what I wanted, this is what I got, this is more like it. So I'm actually very happy with this guy. I'm gonna pose him about and play around with him
a bit more later, but for now, I'm just going to try and get him in a decent sort of standing pose, if I can do, and we'll put him up on the ludicrously expensive Spinatron 5000. There we go. And let's see if I can do it without knocking anything off. Hey, there we go. Alright, so far we're 5 for 5. Okay, let's put the other arm on. And again, I'm really worried about knocking these swords off because they're so precarious on there. There we go. Nice satisfying click, and oof, oof. This thing is looking pretty beefy. I like the look of this. I'll shift the arms back a bit, otherwise he's gonna topple forwards. Ready for the final piece? Let's do it. Alright, time for Carnage. There's gonna be Carnage. I'm not sold on Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy. I think he's like 30 years too old for a start. I mean, and I like Woody Harrelson, but it's like, what are you going for with this character? I never saw Carnage like this. I always saw him as like some like little small, wiry, little goblin type guy. More of a Jackie L. Haley. If you're gonna go for a older guy, I'd say Jackie L. Haley for Carnage. Alright, I'm gonna pop him out. Gotta be careful because his tendrils are going through the plastic. Oof. Alright, I think I like this guy. So, Carnage with his beautiful, oh, you see, so rough to the touch because of all the sculpting over the body. I'm gonna whack the back spikes on here. And, oh, he's got a lot going on. Here we have absolute Carnage, which I guess is this is how he appeared in Absolute Carnage at the start. What was kind of fun about that story was he kept evolving throughout the story until he was this huge, big, gigantic, demonic, monstrous-looking thing. It was really cool. That had to happen eventually. So, this is definitely an upgrade to Carnage, and there's been lots of people who have shown that the previous Carnage, you can interchange the hands and the weapons, so that's kind of fun. But, oh, there you go. Do you want to go for a wander? There you go. Oof, she was getting quite hot. So, that's kind of cool as an upgrade to the previously existing Carnage. I'm not sure if you can hear her lapping at a water dish there. So, I'm happy with this. It's nice. I'm glad that, like, as a uniform thing now, it's kind of accepted that symbiotes have toes. I always thought it was kind of funny that they always had Spider-Man flipper feet beforehand. I know the Life Foundation symbiotes still have the flipper feet, but you know, it makes sense for Spider-Man to have flipper feet because he's wearing a costume. But once they become sort of like more organic beings, then it would make sense that they would just have normal gripping toes. And of course, the Absolute Carnage head looks pretty awesome. So speaking of heads, let's attach the Venom pool head. Oh, do you want to go outside? Is that it? Do you need to poop? Alright, well, I guess we're stopping this video. And we're back. And we have everyone displayed here. And I gotta say, a lot of this feels kind of cheap. I don't want to say it, but I've been playing around with these guys a bit, and the difference is amazing. Mostly, like, you've got really good Carnage and movie Venom. Just the quality of the plastic feels good. The lowest Miles feels like cheap garbage. Like garbage. This is all made by the same company, but I don't get it. Gwen is kind of, she feels like the same kind of, it's like a soft plastic. The plastic feels soft and rubbery and cheap and like it's gonna fall apart. I couldn't get Miles to stand because I was afraid, well, it took me forever to get him to stand because I was afraid to try and articulate his ankle because it felt like it was just gonna snap off. I think like they're held together with tiny, they got like these, like, it looks like he's wearing flip-flops on his feet because there's like a tiny peg holding in his foot and then his heel kind of sticks out the back. Yeah, it just feels really cheap. And you got the Bucky Cap repaint for Phage. Ugh, it's tough. This is, but then you've got like Carnage, which is fantastic, like really good. And finally, at long last, we can put the head on the Venom pool. Again, I nearly couldn't remember his name because this is from Contest of Champions video game, I believe. As opposed to a comic. And here we have Venom Pool. And does he save the wave? Maybe. It's going to take some time. He is a huge, big character, which means a lot. Like, you can't even really see me here. And definitely, this is the strongest character in the wave, which is not surprising. The amount of just size and heft that has gone into this is really something. There's so much detail and the way it's put together, really wonderful. So this figure here is terrific, but I can't give them credit for it because it should be. Because you've paid to acquire all the pieces, you've paid a lot of money, and that money is not on display in various other places. Like, you're really, this is nothing. This is tat. Wow, I said it, there you go. This is tat, Miles Morales, which is a shame because the sculpt is kind of nice, but it just feels like cheap rubbish in my hand. So you paid for the Build-A-Figure piece, basically. But the Build-A-Figure you get looks terrific. I look forward to posing this figure and playing around with him. But it's a real mixed bag. I thought this line was going to be a home run, and instead it's tough to get a read on. I might do a proper review as opposed to just an unboxing later and actually sort of see how these stack up, because right now it's tough. It's mixed emotions. So yeah, that was a melancholy unboxing. I had never had one of those before. How about that? Kind of weird. I don't like that. I want to get back to crazy, upbeat, slightly irritating Dave, because yeah, right now not sure how I feel like this. So guys, let me know, have you got the Venom 2 wave? Do you feel the way I feel? Are there really high points and really low points? That's really interesting. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Until next time, I hope that I will be a lot more lively for the next video. I'll put one out soon because I'm a firm believer that you're only as good as your last video. And this one's kind of meh, but some people have been asking me about Venom Wave 2, so I wanted to put this out. But here you go, honest truth. Anyway, till next time guys, keep displaying model behavior.